Shalom, family. I pray all is well with each and every one of you today. This message or chat, I would say, is stemmed from a conversation I had with my older cousin yesterday. And we was talking about our enemies. And he stated that he will not label like the white man or the white race as our enemy. And I did state, hey, not all of them are bad. Some of them are friends to us as a people. There are some, that will champion against their own for us. But that you're right, that not all of them are our enemy. Yet, I had to remind him with everything that he's went through about the police handcuffing him, putting a gun to his head in his youth, just for being who he is, and probably being at the wrong place or heading to the wrong place at the wrong time. That all these things came upon him. But we have to realize it's not about skin color. And I say many of us say black or white, we're using the modern term that's been given from our oppressors to identify a people. The Most High already stated um, that He picked us because we are few in number. We're not the largest of the people. So when we say that these people hate us, has nothing to do with color. It has to do that we are the covenanted people, the one that the Most High Yahuwah chose to be His people. He didn't choose any other. So the scriptures I had read to my cousin yesterday came from the book of Sirach, and I'll read it in its the verses in its entirety, and not just the two I read to him. Sirach 12, verses 10 through 18 reads, Never trust your enemy, for light as iron rust, so is his wickedness. Though he humbles himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and you shall be unto him as if you had wiped a looking glass, and you shall know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by you, lest when he has overthrown you, he stands up in your place. Neither let him sit at your seat, and and at your last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come near wild beasts? So one that goes to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with you, but if you begin to fall, he will not tarry, he will not wait. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart, we've all seen that and experienced that, he imagines how to throw you into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he finds opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon you, he shall find him there first. And though he pretends to help you, yet shall he undermine you. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Now, family, how often do we see this when we turn on the news, turn on social media? How these other nations will come against us, pick fights, rouse us up. And when we turn to protect ourselves or retaliate, they play the victim. We see that day in and day out. These people are not our friends. I don't care if they're Europeans. I don't care if they're Asians. I don't care if they're so-called Africans or Hamites. Even some of our own people we have to look at sideways. And my husband and I was talking about that yesterday. Even some of our own people we have to look at sideways because we don't know truly who is our friend and who is our foe or our enemy. Sirach 37 verses 1 and 2 and 4 and 5. Every friend says, I am his friend also. But there is a friend who is only a friend in name. Is it not a grief unto death when a companion and a friend is turned to an enemy? There is a companion which rejoices in the prosperity of a friend, but in the time of trouble will be against him. There is a companion which helps his friend for the belly and takes up the buckler against the enemy. And I was also, as I was writing these scriptures down, I was going over a situation with somebody I know that's in the world. We're business friends, actually. We're not personal friends, and that we do talk personal things together, but we're more business to friends. And she was going through the exact same things. This new person came in her life, and she was quick to say, "This is my best friend." Now, mind you, I had been around her and been friends or associates with her for 3 years before this other individual came into her life. And quickly, they hung out and did things together, did business things together, excuse me, had some good events come along, created some good events or festivals. But when things started to look down, not go as planned as the other individual, uh they quickly want to separate themselves, and all the sponsorship money that was given to this other individual to pay the vendors and pay my friend, money quickly disappeared. She quickly closed her hands of that sponsorship money that was specifically supposed to go and pay towards the events, to the vendors, to my friend. She quickly kept that money and lied and say that she paid everybody when in actuality she hasn't. And she's still to this day holding onto this money, and she has created an enemy of those that was at peace with her amongst different vendors, against different food trucks, and against my even with my friend. I haven't even met this woman, and she you had became a somewhat of an enemy of mine prior to, but that's here nor there. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walks about seeking whom he may devour. That is basically who we're fighting, even amongst these people who are different shades of skin tone. They are, many of them, the wicked, because they allow Satan to come into them to use them for his propaganda against us. Now we have to remember, in a fall of Adam, our forefather, that Satan told Adam that he was going to come after this, basically seek to destroy Adam's seed after him, because he was supposed to inherit this, not only the kingdom of heaven, and when I say the kingdom of heaven, I'm not talking about the seat where the Most High sits and his angels. I'm talking about the Garden of Eden. That is also considered, or New Jerusalem, what Most High had planned for Adam, for him and Eve to, in his posterity, to live. But when Adam fall at the behest of Satan, um, the Most High gave Satan dominion over us. And Satan is using every wile that he can come up with to destroy the chosen children of the Most High. And not only that, it is the fact that we are the chosen. You have to realize Europeans and Asians do not go after other Europeans and Asians. Only the melanated people. And I'm not sure um if they go against the Hamites. I'm not gonna say that they don't, but I know they're not the chosen, but they believe that we are all the same people, not realizing that we are not. We are two or three different people. You have the Shemites, which are the Most High's chosen people, which we, the Negroes, are. And then you have the Hamites, which are our cousins, which also are our enemy as well. And that's why we see a lot of them come against us as a people. And we're wondering, hey, why are you fighting against us? We're your people. But in actuality, they're not, because we have a saying amongst our community: all skin people are not kin people. And I had to let my cousin know that too yesterday when we was talking about different. He had to endure some things from our own people, or people that look like us. And I said, hey, cuz, I'm not gonna call him by name, that we, all skin people ain't kin people. I said, we say that a lot, in the community. And he's not, I can't remember if he said he's not heard that before. Um, but he said that was right. People that look like us is at times just as treacherous as our oppressors. All right. Exodus 15:9. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. So I looked up the my lust in the biblical dictionary, the Bible dictionary, excuse me, and it means my desire, my passion, the activity of my mind, the seat of my emotions and passions, and my appetite. So it's their appetite or their desire to pursue and to overtake us and to divide uh, our spoil or our goods. And it said they shall be satisfied, but in actuality, they're not even satisfied by blood. And that's another scripture that says that they're not even satisfied by blood. Because look at how many of them kill us, both European Americans, and Asian Americans kill our people, and they're not satisfied. They get a joy out of doing so because they have allowed Satan to use them for his behest. Again, you have to also look at some of the Asian nations. I don't know if it was China or Japan who has the dragon as their deity, or they, some of the festivals they use, they, this pronounce around, I don't say pronounce around, but use a giant dragon part of their festival um as like their great protector. You can even think of, if you think about it, what about in the movie The Ten Rings, the great protector was this giant dragon, and all of them was Asian. So these people are telling us who they worship, who is their God, if you will. And this same God is an enemy to us as well as the Most High. All right, Job 16:9. He tears me in his wrath, who hates me. He gnashes upon me with his teeth. My enemy sharpens his eyes upon me. Wherever we go, they're constantly watching us with watching every move we make. What are we going whether we're going to steal, what get in our cars, what jobs we go to, why we outside, why are we walking across the street. There was a video I seen on social media the other day that this young brother was walking across the police station parking lot, and three European men surrounded him. One flashed a badge, don't know if it's real or fake, but those men refused to identify themselves whether they was law enforcement or not. But they, and people in the comments like, why don't you turn off your camera and call 911? And somebody else said, no, if he had turned off his camera from recording live, then we don't know what would have happened to him. We don't know if he would have been killed the moment he turned off his camera and tried to call 911. So probably what saved him is keeping his camera on live and recording the whole situation as it played out. And that's another thing. We have to try to stop being out alone in areas that is unknown to us. Uh, we try to. My mom always told my brothers and I to go out in pairs. So if, one can fight, if one can fight and the other one get away to warn an adult, or a both can fight the attacker. But she's always taught my brothers and I, and there's only three of us. Of course, when she started raising my cousin, my little cousin, uh, it was four of us. So we always had to go out in pairs, whether it's both brothers or my cousin and I, or one of my brothers and my cousin. Whichever way, we always had to travel in pairs. That was mandatory. Or if we got caught not traveling in pairs, that was a butt whooping that we had to take when we got home. All right. Job 33:10. Behold, he finds occasions against us. He counts me for his enemy. Psalms 55:3. Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. And this is Hamashiach talking, Luke 10:19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread upon serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. He gave us the power and the authority to tread upon serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. I wonder at times, how do we unlock that power? And it's like, it's easy. We worship the Most High. We walk in His commandments. We keep um, keep ourselves righteous before the Most High, and then that He will give us triumph, victory over our enemies. When they try to come against us. And I've actually had this experience two or three times when I used to work at a particular healthcare insurance company. I had people come against me, minding my own business, working, doing my job, doing what I was there for, because I was a contractor. And these people, two different occasions, they both European Americans, called themselves trying to come against me for what they believe I should be doing. Now, mind you, we was contractors. They was not team leads. They was not management. And I remember getting so upset by it. I didn't go to them. I didn't say anything to them. I locked my computer, stepped away. At that time, they had rooms that you can go into, make a phone call. And I would go in there, turn the lights out, and get on my knees and go before the Most High and pray and ask for recompense upon my enemies, because I'm not doing anything but here doing a job that I was hired to do. Yet these people who are not the Most High, who are not supervisors, who are not team leads, not tech coaches or whatever, they on the same playing field as I am, and in this job, yet they want to come and try to criticize and tell me how to do my job, or wondering why I'm doing something when it has nothing to do with them. And on both those occasions, I did the same thing with before the Most High, cried out to Him and prayed. And both times, these individuals ended up in the hospital. One ended up in the hospital with kidney stones. One ended up in the hospital uh, about to lose her child. I didn't even know she was pregnant, but she ended up in the hospital about to lose her child within a week after this happening to me. And I didn't rejoice. I knew that the Most High had His hand upon me, that He was the one that tread upon them by recompensing me. All right. James 4:4. You adulterers and adulteresses, know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahuwah? Whoso therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of Yahuwah. Now that has to do with us as a people, His chosen. Even though before I was talking about our enemies, that and oppressors that come against us as a people. Now this one I read has to do with us being an enemy to Yahuwah, because that's the biggest enemy we can have, and we don't ever want the Most High to be our enemy at all, because He can destroy us with His word, or withdraw His breath from us. And I looked up you adulterers and adulteresses, and it says adulterer, excuse me, as wicked, one who is faithless towards Yahuwah, apostate. Adulteresses, as the intimate alliance of Yahuwah with the people of Israel, which is us, was likened to a marriage. Those who relapse into idolatry are said to commit adultery or play the harlot, a faithless to Yahuwah, unclean apostate. Deuteronomy 30:7. And Yahuwah your Elohim will put curses upon your enemies. Isn't that what many of us are waiting on? And on them that hate you, which persecute you. Deuteronomy 32:41. If I wet my glittering sword, and mine hand take hold on judgments, I will render vengeance to my enemies, and reward them that hate me. 2 Samuel 22:41. You have also given me the necks of my enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. Ooh, I know many of us are looking forward to that, or the fact that the Most High to do it. Either or, I know many of our people are so looking forward to that day, because we're tired of being oppressed. We're tired of being hunted down in the streets. We're tired of these people showing up at our houses. We're tired of people showing up on at our jobs. We're tired of being attacked in the grocery stores. We're tired of being attacked just for who we are, when many of us don't know what they think is about skin color. We're just tired of the oppression of our enemies. But those who don't know, the people that still are people that still in the churches, or in the world, I can say, they don't know who we are. And I think that's one of the biggest atrocities of us as a people, that we don't know who we are. Even though I know that is the judgment of Yahuwah, because of our um, going against Him by serving these other deities that He told us not to, these deities of wood and stone, and just turn our backs against Him. And in turn, He turned His face against those who turned against Him. So instead of killing us like He could have, He just sent us off and allowed us to be enslaved and be chastised by our enemies. Psalms 139:21. Do not I hate them, O Yahuwah, that hate you? Am I grieved with those that rise up against you? 22. I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. That's also those that look like us and those that don't. And my last scriptures, Matthew 10:22. Now let's go to 10:22. And you shall be hated and you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endures to the end shall be saved. Matthew 24:9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. To those who are in the world who don't know who you are, you've been killed in the streets for Yahuwah's or Yahusha's name's sake. Our DNA is embedded with his name. The very melanin that we hold in our skin is embedded with his name. When they look upon us, they see the chosen people of Yahuwah. They see a blessed people who have been cursed because of our disobedience. So when many of you say, how do we get out of this? Only way is to turn back to Yahuwah, follow his commandments, which the church tell you that that they have been done away with, which is a lie of Satan. Cry out to him and praise his set apart name, and actually call him by his name, Yahuwah, not God. Because which God are you referring to? Because Satan is the God of this world. Every other nation has its own God or gods. And don't call him Lord, because if you look that up in a Bible dictionary, that means Baal. There's another deity, as well as the title that's given to Satan as well. So again, who are you serving? So turn to the Creator, the Father, the one who gives you breath and life, who allows you to live, and know who your enemy truly is, and know who the enemy is using in this day and time and in them body. It's just because we're not fighting against flesh and blood, against principalities and rulers that's not of this world. Shalom, family. I pray all is well with each and every one of you. Shalom.